Hi, kindergarten classes. Oh, this is so cool knowing I have all 5 kindergarten classes watching me. Okay, so when I was trying to think of a fun activity to do with all of you, I know that my son, he's 6, just like most of you, he loves doing science experiments. So I said, oh my gosh, I should do some science experiments. So that's kind of what I'm going to do today, okay? And I'm going to do them. I try to do ones that you could do at home. I use things that are just around the house, okay? So the first experiment I did, it's called the bouncy egg experiment, okay? So what you need for this is you need vinegar. Vinegar, some people like the smell of vinegar, some people don't, okay? But vinegar is an acid, okay? And so I filled up 2 cups full of vinegar. And then I took a raw egg, okay? Raw means not cooked. So I grabbed them right out of the fridge. Now, I chose brown eggs just because what we're gonna do is we're gonna take away the shell, okay? And I knew it would be easier to see the shell be gone out of brown eggs, okay? So, yesterday morning, I took 2 brown eggs and I put them in cups of vinegar, okay? And they have to sit for 24 hours. That is one day. Now, some of the things I read about said you could do it for longer, so it's okay, but you need to have them sit for at least 24 hours. So these eggs have been sitting in vinegar for 24 hours, okay? And so if you can see, I'm gonna kind of get it up here. You can kind of see at the top, oh, it's hard to see. There's brown, okay? The shell is starting to go away, okay? And that's the acid. The shell is not very strong. You would think it would be strong, but it's not that strong. And so the acid from the vinegar is making the shell go away, okay? So I'm gonna take the egg out, okay? And, oh, yep, I can see, whoop, it's slippery. There is now brown stuff all on my hand, okay? And then you're gonna need some water. And you are gonna need, there's still some light brown things. You're gonna wipe away all the rest of the shell. And does anybody know what part of the egg would be shown? Think about that. We learned the parts of an egg, okay? And I'm gonna give you a minute to think about it. But what is left is the membrane, okay? And the membrane is so strong, okay? And it is now on the outside of the egg, okay? So now, I read that your egg could become translucent, which means that you could see through it, okay? I think if you leave your eggs in vinegar for longer than one day, if you do it for 2 or 3 days, it would be better. This is not translucent, okay? There's still a white coating, but if I were to hold a light up to it, I would be able to see through it, okay? So now, the egg is a bouncy egg, okay? This is not a cooked egg. Some cooked eggs could probably do this. This one is not, all right? So that's the bouncy egg. That's how it works. Now, what I think is actually the cooler part with this is when you cut it open, okay? So hang on, I'm going to get this one ready too. Now, this is not something that you would be able to do by yourself. You would need a mom or dad, okay? But I'm going to cut open these eggs, and you're going to see that they are raw, okay? So inside this egg is still a yolk, all right? So, and you'll see how tough and how thick that membrane is. I'm going to try and do it up above so you can see, but sometimes it works, okay? So I'm just going to cut a little hole, and out pop the egg. And here is that super strong membrane that is left. That was kind of like holding it in and making it bounce, okay? I'll do it with this one, so watch carefully. I'm trying to hold it up above. I don't know why I think this is the coolest part. I mean, bouncy eggs are cool, like a bouncy ball, but seeing that yolk come out, ooh, kind of cool, okay? So watch, I'm gonna cut a little hole, whoop, out it pops, and here is that membrane, okay? So again, they were not cooked, all right? So, hope you like that experiment. I have a couple more for you. All right, this next experiment is called homemade lava lamps. All right. Now, when I was a little girl, I had a lava lamp. I remember it. I was so excited when I got it. And you might be wondering what a lava lamp is. Your mom and dad might know. but you'll kind of see what they are here, okay? So I have 3 cups that I just filled with oil, okay? So pretty easy. Fill them up with oil. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add water to this oil. And before I do that though, I want you to make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen when I add this water to the oil? Think about it. What's going to happen? Okay? I'm going to give you a couple things that could happen. I could add the water in and they could mix, and the yellow would probably take over the water and it would just look like a whole bunch of oil, even though that's oil and water. Or they could separate. Maybe the water could sink to the bottom and the oil would be on top and the water would be down below. Or it could be opposite. We could add the water and the oil could go to the bottom and the water could go to the top. So which one of those do you think might happen? So watch, I'm going to add some water. Got to be careful because I'm spilling. Okay, and we're going to let them sit for a minute. Okay, and you'll see, okay, the water is actually going to the bottom, okay? They do not mix together, all right? So now I have 3 cups. I also have some food coloring, okay? I'm going to add some drops of food coloring. So I did 3. There's 4 different colors, but I'm not going to do yellow because I don't know that it would turn out because the oil is yellow. So I'm going to do some red. Just going to add a couple drops. That one I did 5. Maybe one of them I'll do 7. I'm going to do some blue. 6, 7. Okay, so you see the food coloring is coming and it's kind of stopped. And it's not quite, one of them over here has made it underneath to the water. But the oil kind of stops and contains it. Ooh, a couple of those drops, but they're staying drops, okay? It's not like spreading. Okay, see this green one here. Oh, let me hold it back so you can see better, okay? And they stay little droplets. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there we go. So this one I did 5, 7, and then I did 12, okay? So they're kind of floating. Oh, some of these are starting to get to the bottom now that water is starting to turn a little bit blue. All right, so the next thing I'm going to add is something called Alka-Seltzer, okay? Alka-Seltzer is something that you take if you have like an upset stomach. Adults would take it when you have heartburn or an upset stomach. And so this is an acid and a base, okay? And I was reading that when you add them to the water, that's what makes the bubbles, okay, is the acid and the base mixed together. So you're going to see how these lava lamps work when I add an Alka-Seltzer tab, okay? So I'm going to start over here with the red one. Here we go. Okay, I have to just watch. You can start to see it's starting to foam. Move my computer closer so you guys can see what is happening. Gotta give it some time. Some of the red's starting to come up there. I'm gonna add it to the blue now. Okay, ooh, and the blue one you can see really well. The red one you can't see, but you'll start to see some of the blue. It's blue bubbles that are floating up there. Oh, red's starting to do it too. Blue is faster for some reason. Oh, maybe because it's more droplets. Let's see how the green does. It's making noises. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but here it goes. Here it's just still those oil bubbles. It's not green yet over here in the green. But soon it's gonna, oh, now we're starting to see a couple green bubbles. So look at these blue bubbles. Oh my goodness. Now, I've never done this, so I don't know what's going to happen, but what if I just keep adding Alka-Seltzer to the blue? Does it still keep foaming? And do you see all the bubbles and the cool designs that are happening? Red is done. Looks like it's done fizzling. I don't know, maybe I didn't put enough drops in. So I'll add some more Alka-Seltzer and see if that does anything. The blue is my favorite. I feel like you can really see those bubbles in there. Look at all that. Yes, definitely. Oh, now red's starting to get good. Really bubbling up. Almost too bubbly. 2 Alka-Seltzers make it a little too bubbly. Add another one to the green. All right. Well, hopefully you have enjoyed learning about how to make lava lamps at home. It's pretty fun and easy. You just need oil, water, food coloring, and some Alka-Seltzer. All right? I'll let you watch these for another few minutes. Kind of fun to see. All right, I have one last experiment for us. So this one's called Balloon Blow Up. So I took 2 bottles. My boys actually had a great morning. I have 2 boys. And they got to have chocolate milk. And they got to have pancakes. And this was what some syrup was in because I needed these bottles. Okay? So inside the bottles, I'm going to fill them with vinegar. Okay? And I have 2 balloons. Okay? And notice the colors I picked, by the way. I picked some pine wood colors. Now, if you have a funnel, that would probably be easier. This one's pretty easy to pour vinegar into. This one's a little bit harder. I have to be very careful. Okay, so I poured vinegar in. And when you weren't watching, I put some baking soda inside these balloons, okay? And the green one, I kind of filled with a lot of baking soda. And this one, I did some, but not as much, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these balloons over the top. You need to make sure you pick a bottle that has a small mouth, okay? Because you got to be able to get these balloons over the top of it, okay? And in a minute, I'm going to dump the baking soda into the vinegar, okay? So when baking soda and vinegar are combined, they create a gas, okay? And if that gas is trapped in there, it has no way of getting out, it's going to come up and you're going to see what happens, okay? Here we go. Here they go. Hope you enjoyed it.